Beloveds, good morning, good morning, good morning. Please rise in body or spirit for our opening hymn, number 361 in your gray hymnal, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In. Yeah, we're shaking it up today. What? We never sing first.
Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Yay. Could I have my board member for the welcome, please?
Just a little bit. Good morning. My name is Vincent Arsery. I'm currently serving as president of this congregation. All are welcome to join our hybrid service of the Fourth Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Westchester, where everyone is welcome and everyone belongs. A special welcome to those new to our congregation. We're glad you're joining us this morning. We invite you to stay for our coffee after the service, and we hope you will sign our guest book. We are a liberal and inclusive community where members and friends gather to support each other in their spiritual journeys and to give service to the wider world of which we are a part. If you would like to learn more about our congregation and our faith tradition of Unitarian Universalism, we encourage you to connect with Harold Stillman, Lauren Normay, or Gretchen Grimm from our membership committee after the service. You can also email us at fourthuu@gmail.com or visit our website at fourthuu.org.
Thank you, Vincent, and good morning again, everyone. Let me put this away properly. So our candles this morning, we're going to bypass the candle lighting because you may have noticed that they are not in their usual receptacles. They've gotten taken down during the tag sale, and we have yet to find them. Hopefully they didn't get sold. Entirely possible, I don't know. So welcome members and welcome friends, welcome everyone gathered in the sanctuary and everyone who is joining us on Zoom this morning. Good morning, Mike. It's good to see you, beloved. I am Reverend Lane Cobb, and I'm pleased to be the minister here at Fourth Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Westchester. If you're visiting us this morning, Brian, welcome. Please raise your hand. It's so good to have you with us. Please stay for coffee hour so we can greet you properly. We're so happy you're here. This morning's worship service is the first of a new congregational year, and we will mark this with our traditional water ceremony to celebrate our coming back together as a community after the summer. And of course, I'll share more about that later on if you're not familiar with that ceremony. Again, thank you for being here. Your presence makes a difference. All of you. Each time we gather, we light a chalice to symbolize our commitment to our faith and to this community. So I'm going to do that now. Our chalice lighting words are from author, environmental activist, and respected Buddhist teacher and now ascended ancestor, Joanna Macy. She passed away just this past July. She writes, "If the world is to be healed through human efforts, I am convinced it will be by ordinary people. People whose love for this life is even greater than their fear. People who can open to the web of life that called us into being and who can rest in the vitality of that larger body." Indeed, we come to this service this morning as ordinary people, each of us extraordinary in our own way. May our coming together serve to deepen our love for this life and this world. May the lighting of our chalice deepen our commitment to living out the values of our faith. And may we find within ourselves and each other the courage to turn our faith into healing action. Please join me in singing our chalice lighting song, followed by our unity affirmation. The words are in your order of service, and you should have an order of service next to you, if not in your own chair. Oh, may this chalice ever be a symbol of our unity, that in this hour we now unite our separate flames to make one light. And our unison affirmation: love is the spirit of this fellowship. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. Please rise and body your spirit for hymn number 347 in your great hymn book, Gather the Spirit.
We got 3 verses. If you're not familiar with it, you can hold off for the first and come in on the second.
Gather the Spirit, harvest the power, our separate fires will kindle one flame, witness the mystery of this hour, the joys in this light, we're all the same. Gather in peace, gather in thanks, gather in sympathy now and then, gather in hope, compassion and strength, Thank you, thank you. Awesome. So I would like for Eric Brown and Vincent Archery to come forward, please. They're going to talk about the Fourth UU Social Justice in Action Report.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric. I'm a member of the board, serving as the vice president. And this is an interesting time. It's our first service back. I'm not going to talk about it too long. The board has reviewed and thought about what the UUA has recently said about in terms of how each of our congregations and each of our groups in our community as a faith will react to the current cultural climate. If you bear with me, I'm going to read quickly our first and second principle. First principle is we believe in the inherent worth and dignity of every person. Second principle is that we believe in justice, equity, and compassion in human relations. I think it says something about our faith that there is also a conversation about whether we should also talk about the worth and dignity of every being. I think it tells you where we are as an organization. And we live in yet another time in our culture where there are many of us who have decided to act in opposition of that belief. They're acting through their word, through their personal actions, and the forces they're willing to marshal. And this is a time where the UUA has asked us all to stand in opposition of that and to marshal our own, through love and compassion, our own forces to counteract those who would say that we don't have to believe in the worth and dignity of every person. So Josh was the champion of bringing this to our community to review, accept, and act upon the resolution that the UUA has provided to our faith to marshal these forces. So with that, our board reviewed it a few weeks ago. We discussed it. There's a lot of discussion about it. Reverend Lane was incredibly helpful in that process. And at our last board meeting, we voted to approve and set into action however we're going to start to counteract the forces that would say everyone's not worthy and everyone doesn't have dignity. So I'm just going to read the resolution that we've approved. It is named Faithful Defiance of Authoritarianism. Oh, sorry, everyone should have a copy at their seat. This is the resolution that our board has accepted and approved. Faithful Defiance of Authoritarianism, a call to action by the Fourth Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Westchester. Whereas Unitarian Universalists affirm and promote the use of the democratic process in society at large, as enshrined in our former fifth principle and expressed in our newly adopted commonly held religious values. Whereas democracy in the United States faces unprecedented challenges from rising authoritarianism, including efforts to undermine free and fair elections, suppress the vote, spread disinformation, erode or eliminate civil liberties, and concentrate power in the hands of a few. Whereas the imposition of authoritarianism threatens the worth and dignity of all people, particularly those already marginalized by systemic racism, xenophobia, misogyny, economic justice, and other forms of oppression. Whereas our faith calls us to act in solidarity with those defending democratic norms, institutions, and rights. Be it resolved that this congregation affirms our commitment to democracy as a moral and spiritual imperative, and as essential to the realization of justice, equity, and compassion in human society. Be it resolved that this congregation strongly condemns efforts to subvert democratic institutions, suppress voting rights, intimidate public servants, manipulate the judiciary, and spread authoritarian ideologies. Be it resolved that this congregation commits to nonviolent action in defense of democratic values and to active resistance against authoritarian encroachment through legal, ethical, and peaceful means. Be it resolved that this congregation supports local, state, and national efforts to protect and expand voting rights, ensure election integrity, and hold leaders accountable to the rule of law. Be it resolved that this congregation encourages education and civic engagement within and beyond the congregation, including hosting forums, supporting nonpartisan voter registration efforts, engaging in public witness for democracy, including nonviolent protests, strikes, and disruptive events, non-cooperation as needed. Be it resolved that this congregation partners with other faith communities and civic organizations to build a broad-based movement to uphold democratic principles and resist authoritarianism in our local area, one that can help feed a national movement of similar character. Be it resolved that this congregation will create a working group to guide, coordinate, and report on these efforts, ensuring that our actions remain grounded in our Unitarian Universalist values and inclusive of all members of our community. Be it further resolved, this resolution shall be shared with our regional and national Unitarian Universalist bodies, as well as other faith-based organizations that share our moral concern for inclusive democracy and our freedoms. And be it further resolved that our congregation remains steadfast in love, courage, and commitment as we work to build a just, democratic, and compassionate society for all. Vincent is going to talk a little bit more about what that looks like.
Hi, I'm Vincent again, and I'm the board chair. Hello, I'm Vincent again, and I'm board, can you hear me now? I'm board chair, and I'm pleased to announce that we are reviving the social justice group team here at 4th UU. Eric Brown, Laura Nemay, and I are co-leading this effort. You may also remember that Alan Wiega had something in the Fourth Word a while back, a few months ago. We will be taking a strategic approach to supporting the resolution on anti-authoritarianism action. At this time, our 3 areas of focus will be postcard writing, protesting, and community engagement. We invite everyone who's interested to join our committee. If you would like to join or have questions, we're going to set up a table in the front over here at coffee hour. And if you want to talk about it, we'd love to talk with you. Thank you.
So, we have come to that part in our service where we share our joys and concerns. Part of our responsibility to this faith community is to hold space for our humanity in all of its iterations, the good and the bad, the celebrations and the tragedies, and that which nurtures us and that which challenges us as well. So this is the time for us to make space for people to share their joys and sorrows, both individual and collective. May our loads be lightened and our journeys sweetened by having shared them. If you would like to share a joy or a sorrow, you can either come up or you can share from your seat. Bob will bring the microphone to you. If you would like a candle to be lit in silence, just put your hand up. If you'd like to come light your own candle, you can do that as well. And one final candle for all the joys and concerns, spoken and unspoken. For all that we carry and all that we hope for, may the lighting of these candles make us feel lighter and help us to feel the love of a community that does support us. May we be guided through love to a place of peace. Let us just hold for 30 seconds. gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you. This is our time in our service when we take up an offering. And we have two baskets. One is to benefit this congregation, is the basket, the straw basket. And there is an additional basket with a folded cloth if you would like to support our community partner, Fred's Pantry, who provides food in Peekskill and the surrounding areas for people in need. And there are more and more and more of them. And as you know, they're losing a lot of their federal funding.
I will lay my troubles down by the water, when you'll never run dry. I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted, I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe, as you ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet reliefs, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Praise this heart of hearts, with the loneliness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, and the river will never run dry. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry, where the river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
Oh my goodness, what a blessing. Gosh, so much to be grateful for. So I have a reading to share this morning, The Vessel of Compassion, a Water Communion Story by Reverend Katie Sivani Gelfand. Once upon a time, in a time that is both this time and no time, at the turning of the 9th moon of the year, 4 women journeyed from 4 different directions to share a moment of sacredness together. Each carried a pitcher of water from her home, embedded with the stories and emotions of her life and community. They congregated around an empty vessel, united in the desire to listen to the stories and hearts of one another. The youngest woman came from the east with the spirit of air. As she poured water from her pitcher into the vessel, she shared stories from her home about the excitement of children being born, the music of laughter that fragranced the neighborhoods, and the bliss of young people falling in love. As she shared the story of her heart, she laughed, and drops of liquid joy burst from her mouth and landed inside the vessel. The four women paused to honor the stories from the East and the spirit of the woman who shared them. The mother came from the South with the spirit of fire. As she poured water from her pitcher into the vessel, she shared stories from her home about adapting to the ever-changing world of motherhood, the challenges of navigating family life, and the difficulties her community faced with transitions in leadership. As she shared the story of her heart, a drop of sweat formed on her brow and landed inside the vessel. The four women paused to honor the stories from the South and the spirit of the woman who shared them. From the West, with the spirit of water, came the sovereign woman. As she poured water from her pitcher into the vessel, she shared stories from her home about friends and loved ones who had died, the grief of those who missed them, and the deep pain she carried for the wounds humans have inflicted on each other and our world. As she shared the story of her heart, a tear of sadness fell from her eye and landed inside the vessel. The four women paused to honor the stories from the West and the spirit of the woman who shared them. From the North came the elder woman with the spirit of earth. As she poured water from her pitcher into the vessel, she shared stories from her home about the peace she found in solitude, the comfort she found in witnessing the changing of the seasons and phases of the moon, and the renewal she felt when sharing her wisdom with those who would listen. As she shared the story of her heart, a tear of joy fell from her eye and landed inside the vessel. The four women paused to honor the stories from the North and the spirit of the woman who shared them. Now between the four women was a vessel filled with the waters of joy and happiness, change and transition, grief and loss, and rest and renewal. Mingled together in harmony and blessed by the women through their reverence and love for each other, the empty vessel of water was now a full vessel of compassion. Each woman took out a small container and filled it with water to bring back to her home to share the spirit of understanding and compassion with her own community. Here ends the reading. The water ceremony has been a UUA tradition since the 1980s. It was created by two women who were tasked with creating a gathering ritual at the UUA or at a UUA women's conference. Like the women in the reading, Carolyn McDade and Lucille Shuck Longview created a ritual that speaks to our connectedness to one another, to the totality of life, and to our place on this planet. As we prepare to pour the waters of our respective lives into one communal bowl, let us do so in reverence for that divine connection. Let us do so in the spirit of understanding and compassion, in the spirit of love and our shared Unitarian Universalist values. As we commemorate the beginning of a new congregational year, let us imagine that we are pouring into a river that never runs dry. Carol and Pam just sang of that. A river of faith, a river of hope, a river of kindness and radical acceptance for ourselves and each other, a river of gratitude for this beloved community. Thank you. A river of commitment to fighting for justice and defending democracy. A river of love that is big enough and generous enough to include everyone and everything. A river that is deep enough and wide enough to hold us on our respective journeys as we answer the call to action issued by the UUA and supported by our congregational leaders. And I am sure all of you. As we take up the challenge to live out the values of our faith and put our love into action, may this beloved community be for each of us a river that never runs dry, where we can stand shoulder to shoulder and make our voices heard, not only because the world needs us to do it, but because we need us to do it, for our own sense of well-being and for our own sense of wholeness. As we engage in this endeavor together, let us be lifted and encouraged by the waters of this community. Together, we can do this. So I suggest that we come by rows, starting from the back. If you have brought some water with you, you are welcome to share from whence it comes, but I do invite you to be brief. If you have not brought water with you, I invite you to pour from the carafe that is there on the table. Upon completion of the ritual, we will bless the water. After service, I will ask someone to pour it onto the roots of the big tree in the memorial garden so that we can share it with our ancestors who lay there. And if you haven't sat back there recently, I suggest you do. It's quite an experience. It's lovely. You can feel the energy back there. As we process forward, let us be reminded of all the ways that water nurtures and empowers us. Water as wisdom, water as grounding force, water as clarity, purpose, and fortitude, water as energy, water as a source of healing, water as life. In doing so, may we lift up each other as we celebrate the fullness of this community and the oneness of humanity. So please, if you would like to come up, and we don't necessarily have to have so much order about it. Just who's ever ready to come up, it's okay. Okay, yeah, absolutely. It's on.
I was going to give my mom the opportunity to talk, but she doesn't want to. Okay, Mom and I go on bird drives, and there's a pond which we call the Heron Pond because we often see great blue herons. And we have seen muskrats and turtles, and most recently green herons. This is to Mom, the Heron Pond.
I'm Bob, if anybody doesn't know me. Brighton Beach in Brooklyn, the big busty women go down to the water's edge and they take some of the frigid ocean water and put it in their cleavage to cool themselves. This is called a Machaya bath. Machaya is a blessing, a relief. And last month, when my wife and I and our daughter Rebecca get in the car at 7 a.m. to go down to Cape May for the 28th time, one of the exits we pass is named after Celia Cruz. You can almost hear us singing with the Fania All-Stars in Africa, singing Juan Talamera. And the next greatest joy to that is when we get down to the water, the thing that I do is go down to the reef and I read my book. So this is a facsimile for the water by the Getty, And we hope that that you all will have Machaya in your life, like we have experienced for 28 years down in Cape May.
Hi, good morning, I'm Beth. This is a vessel of tap water out of my kitchen sink into a little bottle that sits on the windowsill just above my kitchen sink. I think I am accurate in saying that this little quantity of potable water is the single most important resource we have on the planet, and will continue to be, and will continue to become more and more important and more challenged and threatened, and we've got to pay attention.
Like Beth, I also brought tap water. Just a reminder of how fortunate and grateful I am to have clean water that is easily accessible straight out of my house. Not everyone is so lucky.
This is water from the behind our house in the Foundry Preserve, at a little inlet that's next to the train station. In the global sense, it's representative of what Beth and Pam talked about. It's a place we need to protect. It's not just pretty, it keeps us alive. On a personal note, it comes from a place that during the pandemic, we used to go to start Clark's school day. It's where I ruined one of his science experiments by ironically throwing water on it. But it's a reminder of us being together, and as Clark gets taller and less recognizable to me, it's a reminder that it's great to see. So.
This is a tap water, but it is originally from Lake Mahopac, or Mahopac, and which is the same lake I love to go out on and leave my worries on the shore.
This is from Bow Lake and Banff National Park.
This is also tap water because I wasn't able to take the water from, we went on a bucket list trip, a cruise of Alaska, which if you've never been, I was in awe the entire time in Alaska. It is just beautiful, even if the glaciers, as one of our guys said, they're not retreating, they're melting.
This is tap water from Lenox Hill Hospital, the room my wife was in, and I spent 5 days in. The nurses there, the physician's assistants are heroes. Not all heroes wear capes, right?
River water from the river that flows both ways, that being the Hudson River, gathered at Iona Island this past week.
This is a little bottle of, oh, sorry. This is a little bottle that was in my apartment when I moved in. It says it's holy water. And the woman who had lived there had died. So I feel like this is probably important to add to our water.
This is tap water from our home, and we have a filter we like really clean water. And for some reason, I didn't want the filtered water. And I'm not sure of the meaning of that, except it is from our home, and where we are, my husband and I are committed to healing a corner of our planet.
This is clean drinkable water in honor of those who don't have clean drinkable water. Clean drinkable water in honor of those who do not have it. Places where there's starvation and thirst like Gaza and Sudan.
Would anyone like to come and just add water from the carafe? You may. The fact that you're pouring it means that your energy is in it.
This is water from Community Unitarian Universalist congregation at White Plains, where I worked for 9+ years, and from which I am retiring effective September 1.
This is water from my tap, and I'm so present to how much water I drink in a day and how grateful I am that all I have to do is go and push it. And there it is. Thank you. May these communal waters be a blessing to the earth when we pour it back in, and may our divine connection to the earth and to each other be strengthened by our having shared them here this morning. May it be so. Amen. So our closing hymn this morning is How Could Anyone? And you'll find a handout there. And if it's not in your chair, it's in the chair next to you. And we will sing it 3 times. The first time we will sing it as it's written. And then the second and third verses, we'll just change a couple of words, and they are typed at the bottom of the handout. So everything you need to know is on that handout. Please rise in body or spirit as you feel able, and let's sing our closing hymn, How Could Anyone Ever Tell You?
How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you
Thank you, beloved. You may be seated. Let us extinguish our chalice and recite together the chalice extinguishing words that you find in your order of service. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of love, fellowship, and truth. May we hold it in our hearts until we gather again.
May a long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. May the long time sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way
Thank you to our musicians. Thank you, Josh, for being a worship associate extraordinaire. Bob and Gretchen, thank you. Thank you, everybody, for being here this morning. Please don't forget to visit with the social justice team in the corner if you have questions, and keep your eyes open for the fourth word announcements about our activities for making this resolution active for us. Thank you so much, everybody. Go in peace, go in love. Please be safe. Carol, I want to be, I know, bon voyage. All right, all right. Okay, everybody.